نعرف أنكم متحمسين فما بنطول عليكم. من الفلبين ينضم إلينا الفنان الشاعر ميتا سارمينتو عشان يحكي لنا قصيدة عن تجربته مع التغير المناخي.
Thank you, Meta. To kick off the event, we'd like to invite Meta Sarmiento, a born Filipino artist, to perform a spoken word poem about his personal experience with climate change. Please help us in welcoming Meta Sarmiento.
I'm a tropical island boy through and through. I was born and raised in the island of Guam. My parents immigrated from the Philippines, and now I live in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. My life motto for the last few years has been from the sea to the stars. But before the mountain peak, I spent my days by the mouth of the ocean. My childhood was salt water and wind. My teenage years warmed by a sun that hung like a ripe mango in the sky. But in my adulthood, I realized I wasn't just standing on a beach anymore, but on the front lines in the battle against climate change. When you hear that the Pacific Islands could disappear in your lifetime, you begin to worry for your region. You start to draw connections between environmental degradation and mass production. You start to see relationships between pollution and the health of your people. You begin to question what's really going on. I was at COP21 in 2015. I, along other poets and leaders, performed poems and told stories about our peoples, about our regions, about how change was not just a wish, but a demand. It was clear climate change was affecting millions of people across the globe. Our voices helped inspire 196 parties to sign the Paris Agreement, from America to China, from Algeria to Sudan, from Morocco to the United Arab Emirates. Nearly 200 countries committed to hold global average temperatures to pre-industrial levels. But the work is far from finished. Later this year, COP28 will take place here in the UAE, and I hope many of you have the courage to participate in challenging discussions, to take action by collaborating with leaders and policymakers, to use your voice to shed light on the realities of climate change, and to take the position of a lifelong learner. And if you need some inspiration, just look to the water. It has taught me so much. The world below the surface, a universe all its own. Before society became an endless supermarket, a drowning of registers and barcodes. Before the ocean became a dump to quench a thirst for luxury, it was once a depth deemed sacred, a well to feed the village. We forget that we live on a blue planet, that the evening's eyes gaze upon a moving mirror. I wish to be more like the waves, to know only endless movement, so even when my fear stills my feet, my voice rushes onward like a current. If change is the only constant, then there is no constant like the sea. How terrifying it must be for a people to now fear the very thing that gave them life. I refuse a future where the ocean swallows the islands. I reject a world where the heat chars a city bone dry, where the greenhouse gas chokes the clouds for all its rain and leaves a land of crops in ash. I deny a version of reality where my people or your homes become a memory or a hard lesson. If we learn today, then tomorrow has a better chance. Every dream is rooted in imagination, and I believe our capacity can fill the gap between the deepest sea and the farthest reaches of space. From the sea to the stars, from the sea to the stars, we must dream, we must speak, we must demand. To push back against a flood of destruction, we must first become an endless tide of innovation. And although we may live on land, we're endlessly connected by the ocean, a blue bridge that links our greatest hopes, each of us a drop, each contribution a ripple, until together we become the wave of change that generations have fought for.